Hey guys, welcome back to the Crochet Nook. If you're new here, I'm Danny. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to crochet these adorable crochet strawberry earrings. They are perfect for spring and summer. So without further ado, let's get started. I currently am using something called embroidery floss, which to me is just skinny yarn. So if yours doesn't say that, but it is about the same size, it should be fine. I'm using a 1.5 millimeter hook today, and I have a pair of scissors, a pair of tweezers, a pearl bead, that's optional, and then your earring materials. So you're gonna need a hook, and then you're gonna need this little piece. Typically it comes with an earring kit, but it is gonna allow you to kind of put the strawberry, like you're gonna skewer it essentially to get it to attach and create the earring. Okay, so to get started, we're gonna start with the pink yarn or red, whatever color you choose to do for your strawberry, that's where we're gonna start. So we're gonna start with a magic circle, drape it, grab your thumb to fasten it, to hold it. You're gonna go around like that, and then when you come around, you're gonna cross and make an X. So if you can see, there's the X. And then I like to grab it with my fourth finger right here, hold it, and you're gonna go under the first string, and you're gonna grab the second and pull that through, okay? And then you're gonna twist. So then I grab it, I pinch it right here so I can wiggle my fingers out and hold it together. Then, I don't know if you guys wear these rings to help with tension, but I do. So I'm just gonna thread that on now. It's not required. All right, so you're gonna chain one. So you're gonna yarn over and grab, I pinch it with the other hand at that point and just pull through once, like that. So you'll have a chain one, and that's your magic circle. You are going to insert 6 single crochets into this magic ring. So to do a single crochet, you're gonna go under, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now you'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through 2. So that was 1, go under, yarn over and pull up. So then you'll have 2 loops on that hook, yarn over, and pull through 2. That's 2. So once you have your 6 single crochets in the magic loop, what you're gonna do is pull out this string, hold it here, pinch the work you've done so far, and slowly pull until it starts to close. And once it's super tight, whoop, fell off my hook. There we go. Once it's super tight, what you're gonna do is you're gonna slip stitch. Well, actually first, I think this might be, it might be a little easier to do this. So before we slip stitch, we're just gonna snip off the end. So we're gonna get a pair of scissors. I typically just leave it just a tad like that. So it's not gonna get in the way, but it's also not right up to the space of where I'm gonna be crocheting. So we're going to slip stitch now into that first stitch we made, which is gonna be right here. So you're gonna yarn over, pull through that 1 loop, pull through that 2nd loop. So that was row 1. Row 2 is going to be alternating between a single crochet and an increase. And an increase is 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So you're going to alternate in between putting 1 single crochet in 1 stitch and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch. So for the first one, we're going to insert where we just made that slip stitch. So you're going to pull yarn over. There we go. Okay. Boom. That will be the hardest one. Okay. So now you're going to do an increase in the next stitch. So that was 1 single crochet. Now you're going to put another single crochet in that same stitch. So go back into where you just inserted it and put another single crochet in. The next one is just 1 single crochet. This stitch, only 1. This is going to look like there's still 1 more stitch. However, this is our slip stitch that we made from round 1. So we're going to skip this. It's not going to be a regular stitch that we enter in a single crochet into. Instead, we're going to enter a slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet that we made in this row, which is going to be right there. So you can go ahead and insert that hook. You might have to wiggle it a little bit. And you're going to yarn over and chain 1 to start the next row. So you'll see it already is starting to curl. So the first stitch, remember, go back into right where we made that slip stitch. That was 1 single crochet. Now we're going to enter in another single crochet in the next stitch. So we just did 2 single crochets. This next one is going to be an increase. So you're going to put 2 single crochets in this stitch. There's 1. And then insert your hook into the same stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That was your increase. And for the last stitch in the row, you're going to do an increase again. All right, and to finish this row, you're going to slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet. So to start row 4, we're going to do 3 single crochets and 1 increase. So you're going to insert a single crochet here. So go back into the same stitch that you made the slip stitch. That was 1. Go into the next stitch and single crochet. You're going to make another single crochet in the next stitch. And honestly, at this point, I'm going to flip it inside out because today I've got a deep tension. Now we're going to do an increase in this next stitch right here. There we go. There's 1 single crochet. Then go back into where you just were for that second one. All right, and then we're gonna do another 3 single crochets and then an increase. And you're gonna repeat that pattern until you get to the end of the row, and you should end on an increase. All right, so we have reached the end of the row. You're gonna slip stitch. So to start row 5, you're gonna chain 1, and no surprise, we're gonna do 4 single crochets and then an increase. Okay, so we're at the end of the row, so I'm slip stitching into the top of the first single crochet in the row, and I'm chaining 1. Now row 6 is a little weird, so bear with me through this row, but you are going to do 2 single crochets. So there's 1, go to the next stitch, 2, then you're going to do an increase in the next stitch. And then you're gonna do 5 single crochets and an increase. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to increase, and then you're going to do another 5 single crochets and an increase again. Okay, and then once you've done that for the second time, you're going to do 3 single crochets to finish out the row. All right, and at the end of the row, I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch made. First single crochet made in that row. And then I'm going to chain 1 to start the next row. Now we're going to do 6 single crochets in an increase. You're then going to repeat that all the way around the row, and I will meet you at the end of the row. All right, so I just finished my last stitch in the round, and I am going to slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet, completing the round. This is where we're going to start closing off the strawberry a little bit. We're going to start getting a little smaller. You're going to chain 1 to start the row, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets and then a decrease, okay? And this one, to do a decrease, I will show you when we get there, but let's start out with the single crochets. So just as always, we're going to go right where we made the slip stitch and do that first single crochet. And then go in the next stitch, do another single crochet. So to do a decrease, we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through, so there's 2 loops on the hook. Then we're going to go into the next stitch, insert our hook there, yarn over and pull through that one. So now there are 3 loops on that hook. We are going to yarn over one more time and pull through all 3 of those loops, therefore joining those 2 stitches together. And you're going to continue that pattern all the way around till you reach the end of the row, and I will meet you back there. All right, and now I have reached the end of this row, and I'm going to be slip stitching into that first single crochet of the row. I'm going to extend that a little bit because now we are going to add our stuffing in to our strawberry before we seal it completely up. You can use a combination of your fingers and the tweezers or just your fingers. It's totally up to you. But I like to stuff it pretty full, not even gonna lie. I don't like a lot of give. So just making sure that there is enough to give it that shape that you would like. You're gonna chain 1 again, like that. And then you're going to alternate between a single crochet in one stitch, and then the next is going to be a decrease stitch, then a single crochet stitch, and then a decrease. So starting out with that single crochet, and I like to put my finger on top of the stuffing, especially while I'm doing this first stitch that likes to give trouble, but poke that through and do a single crochet like that, and then you're going to do a decrease stitch. Now at this point, this is how I do the decrease. I showed you how to do it prior, which is the easy version, but this is going to start to look a little bit nicer up at the top so it's not as stretched. You are going to go in the back loop back here. So you're not going to go through the whole thing like you normally do, just the back. Yarn over, yarn over, pull through, and then go into the back loop of the next stitch, like that. Yarn over, pull through, and then you're going to pull through, yarn over one more time and pull through all 3 of those. So it's very similar to the other stitch that we did. I just think once you start getting to the top, it looks a little bit better. So then for the next stitch, you're just going to do a single crochet as normal, and you're going to continue that pattern all the way around. Okay, so I'm on my last stitch of this round, which is a decrease. I'm finishing that off. I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the single crochet, the first single crochet of this row. So for this last row, you're going to do a decrease in every single stitch around. There should be a total of 6. And then you're going to slip stitch into the first one that you've done. And I will meet you back at the end. So I am now at the end of the round, and you're going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the row, like that. Then you are going to cut off your yarn, but before you do that, I personally like to go around once, like chain 1, chain 2, because then when you cut off your yarn, as such, pull through like that, and you can fasten it off a lot better. It's just sturdier because I've made the mistake of not fastening it enough. Now we have the berry. Now it's time to start working on the leaves. So you're gonna start out with another magic ring. Once you have your magic ring, you're gonna insert 5 single crochets into the magic ring. So go under, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You're gonna do 4 more of those. I now have 5 single crochets in my magic circle. Now I'm going to close the magic circle. And then once you get it super tight, you can cut off the back little piece. From here, you're gonna slip stitch into that first single crochet. All right, so once you have a slip stitch through and it's that you have completed the first round, you're now gonna chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now here is where you just have to be careful. You're gonna go to the second chain from the hook, so not this one right next to the hook. You're gonna go into this one, and you're gonna put a slip stitch into it. Then you're gonna put a slip stitch in the next chain. Then you're gonna put a single crochet in the next chain, and then you're gonna put a half double crochet in the next chain right here. So to do a half double crochet, if you don't know, is gonna be yarn over, insert your hook into that next stitch, yarn over, pull up, so then you'll have 3 loops on that hook. You're gonna yarn over, pull through all 3, and that is a half double crochet. And then you're gonna slip stitch into the next stitch. So you'll see where you did your first right here. You're gonna go into this next stitch. You're gonna slip stitch into that one. And then you're basically just gonna repeat the same exact steps that we did to do this one. So we're gonna chain 5. All right, we've got 5 chains. Then from the second chain from the hook, you're gonna put a slip stitch. All right, and then you're gonna put another slip stitch in the next chain. Then you're gonna put a single crochet in the next chain. And then a half double crochet in the next chain. So yarn over, insert that hook, yarn over, pull up. So now you have 3 loops. You're gonna yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. And then you're going to slip stitch into that next stitch. And you're just gonna keep repeating that for an additional 3 more times till you make it back around. And that's gonna kind of make like a star, which is gonna be our leaves. And I will meet you back there. So I have just completed my last little leaf, if you will, and I slip stitched in to that last space. What we're gonna do is I like to, as I said before, chain 1, so that way we can pull it through and it's secured, it's not going anywhere. I like to just kind of hide it underneath. You're gonna just weave it in a bit, but this way it just is a little bit more secure on the underneath. So just like that, honestly, that's all you really need. And then you can snip. So there we go, we have the berry, we have the top. So for this next part, I am just using same kind of yarn. It's just a like cream/white. And I'm using an embroidery needle. And this is just gonna give me those nice little seeds. You're gonna insert it and you're gonna go all the way through to the other side. You're gonna insert it again to the other side. You gotta do some wiggling. You're going to pull it all the way through, but make sure you're being very delicate because all you really wanna do is have it stop like that on the outside. You're just pulling just enough to get it to rest. So you just pull very slowly, very delicately. And when you have enough seeds, we just finished the most tedious part, in my opinion. Now, there is no right and wrong way to do this, but this is just how I've gone about doing it. So I go through the top, and if you can see, there's like a little hook at the end of this. I like to bend that out a little bit with my tweezers to get a little space because I'm gonna take it and feed it through the top of my work. So that is pretty close to the center. Then I'm gonna close that back up, that little gap that I made. Other people have sewn in the leaves of the top. I just don't feel like it's necessary. It's not really going anywhere. But right now, I'm just gonna insert it into the center of the magic ring. So if you can see the circle in the center where we started, it's gonna come up through that. See? I'm just gonna boop. This is completely optional, but I just like the pearls. I have just a little pearl bead that I just drop on top. I begin to curve the end into a little hook as well. So I have the hook and I have the top of the earring. I'm gonna put it on there and I'm gonna close that little hook space. And then there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. If you enjoyed this video today, please hit the subscribe button. I try to do weekly or bi-weekly crochet videos. And until next time.